Hello and welcome to another squad guide. Today we're looking at Leicester. So the aim of these guides is basically to look through the club as a whole. So we're going to look at finances, including transfer budget and wage budget, see how much money we've got to spend. We're going to look through the boardroom and see what they expect of us this season. And then we're going to look at the under-21s and the under-18s to see if there's any good youth talent coming through. And then finally we'll have a look at the squad and see if there's any areas that need strengthening or players you could possibly sell to make a bit of cash. So first up, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. We call him Big A. They don't have any philosophy, so you can do what you like, which is a nice start. And confidence-wise, they expect us in the Premier League to avoid relegation. I think they're managing that this season. Fifth round of the FA Cup and fourth round of the Capital One Cup. Okay, I think that's all seems fair enough. Finances-wise, we've got 4.7 million in the bank, and we've got a nice transfer budget of 9.3 million. We're spending 825 grand on wages, and we've got 844. So you've got 20,000 on wages, so that might be something you need to adjust or do. So next we're going to look through the under-18s. We're not going to look at all the talent. We're just going to look at maybe the top couple just to see if there's any good youth players. I'll let you discover all the little hidden gems. So we've got Alex Pascal, who's a Romanian 17-year-old centre-back. He's not massively rated by the club, and by the looks of it, he's not really going to make it. His physicals will go up because he's young, but they've got a long way to go. His tackling, marking, heading are all 11. This determination's low, which will stop him improving quite so quickly, and work rate is okay, but no, he's not going to make it. So we'll have a look into the under-21s. So we'll have a look at the top couple here. So this guy is highly rated by our scouts. Remember, these scouting reports are just the scouts in the club, so if they're not the best scouts, they might not be spot on. So that's why we're looking into more detail. So Ben Chilwell is an 18-year-old left back. Plays best as a full back. He's a decent player. Good work rate. Determination's really low, which is one of those factors that helps them get to their potential ability. So he might struggle to reach his full potential. But his physicals are really good for an 18-year-old. Tackling could need some work. Same as marking. That's quite poor. Decent heading. He's crossings 10 and 9. He's not bad. I think with some work, you might be able to get him into a decent player. I think maybe, game time or get him a tutor this season, or even loan him out to get him some game experience. He could become good. I think you'd need to put a lot of work into him to sort of really get him to become a decent player. Next, we've got Harry Panayiotou, a guy from Kitts and Nevis. Well, that's quite different. He'll probably be, he's already, I was going to say, he's probably full international when he is 20 years old. I'm not going to look too much into him. He's not that great. Work rate 11, determination 10. He's a striker. Need lots of work on his physicals. You'll struggle to develop into a first team player. He might be good enough to develop and maybe make some money from, but not a huge player. So we won't go through every position in great detail. We're mainly sort of, there's certain players who we know of, like Kasper Schmeichel as the goalkeeper. Quality goalkeeper, just reaching the peak of his career. You can get a good 5 years out of him. Really good goalkeeper. And you've got backup, you've got the 42-year-old Marc Schwarzer. He just keeps on going. He is the Duracell bunny of the Premier League. But he's a really good backup goalkeeper. So I don't see any problems there. On to the right backs. We've got Danny Simpson, 28 years old. Can play. He's mainly right back. Can fill in at left back, but he is a right back. Good physicals, good all-round player. Work rate's good, teamwork's good. I like those sort of stats. Sorry, that's Chewbacca, which is my phone. Tackling 14, marking 12. He's got decent dribbling, decent crossing. He's a decent all-round player. He's okay. Not going to improve, but we'll have a look at. So Liam Moore's loaned out, so we'll just move him across. Let you decide what to do with him when he comes back. So after Danny Simpson, we have Richie Delete, 26-year-old Belgium, because everybody loves a Belgium. Really good versatile player, can play all across the back pretty much, and as a wing back. Good pace, decent player. I quite like him. He's got stats to be able to play at both centre back and wing back. yeah, decent player. He's 26. He's not going to improve massively, but he's a good squad player to have because he can play all those different positions. And we'll look into the other players that can play right back. Obviously, a lot of these will be centre backs mainly. Marcin Wezgi. My names. You'll get used to that in my videos. I can't do names. 35 years old. Obviously, pace is now deteriorating quite quickly. His mentals are amazing. Absolutely beastly. And he's a really good centre-back. Obviously, just pace is the only thing that's sort of letting him down. He can play right-back, but not really. Not with that sort of pace. You got Robert Huth, who's just a solid centre-back. He's 30 now, so he's something you need to think about when thinking longer term. But really good player, decent leadership and teamwork and work rate. So he's a good sort of captain, vice captain quality, but a very good player. And then we have Han Banner Luann. He looks about 45 in his picture. That can't be his real face. Is that what he looks like? 28 years old. He's all right. Squad player, can play right back at a push. He's okay at right back. And then we have Wes Morgan, 31. See, the average age is quite high on those defensive players we've looked at so far. Again, his pace is starting to drop, but other than that, he's a very good central defender. But somebody you need to look longer term to replacing. And then at left back, we've got Jeffrey Schlupp, who's a pacey. I like this guy because he's good going forward. I quite like him at wing back, but he plays left back perfectly fine because he's got 12 tackling, 11 marking. But he can also go forward with his dribbling 13, crossing 11. He's determined. He's a decent all-round player. He's definitely somebody that's going to be, and he's only 22, so he's got lots of room to improve. So whether you want to adapt him to become more of a winger, that's up to you. And then we have Christian Fuchs. It is Fuchs. A left back. He's definitely more attacking than our other left backs. And as you can see, he struggles defensively wise, so tackling and marking is an issue. If you're going to keep him here, you definitely need to work on tackling and marking and positioning, potentially. But if you're going to play him further forward, he's a really good winger already. But he's 29, so he will struggle to improve those stats in training. I think you might just have to, unless you're playing wing backs, I think I would probably play him further up the field. So decent defence. There's some ageing players there. The right back's position's a little bit weak. So we go to Marc Albrighton. Actually, we'll just go into the centre midfields first because it's easier to do. Dean Hammond is 32 years old, another oldie. Decent backup, nothing more really. There's nothing. His mentals are good. He's not too weak in any area, but he's not a sort of first teamer. Gorkan Inla, 31 years old, another oldie. Scouts rate him at 4 stars. Shoots from distance, shoots with power, stops play. Okay, interesting stats. He's best played as a deep line playmaker. He can play as a defensive midfielder. He's got the tackling, he's got the marking. He's a decent header. He can play all round really, but his long shots are 16, so you might want to take advantage of that. Good first touch. Okay, enough pace, but that's obviously going to drop through the season as he's 31. But good player, really good player. Definitely first team to begin with anyway. Next up, we've got Andy King, another centre midfielder, 26 years old. He's okay. Nothing spectacular. He's quite good that he's versatile. He can fill in behind the striker and as a defensive midfielder. Then we have Matty James. Same again, really. Like a decent, okay player. He's only 23, so he has got a bit more room to improve. His determination's good and work rate's good, which will help him improve. There's no real weak points in his game. Again, he can play most roles in the centre mid because his tackling's good, his marking's good if you wanted to play him a bit more defensively, but his passing's okay, or his passing's good. Long shots 12, first touch 12, good mentals, decent player. Next, we've got Danny Drinkwater. Again, a good all-rounder. He's versatile. He's probably somebody I'd have on the bench because he can play. He can fill in all those roles across the midfield. Every midfield role he basically plays. 25 years old, so you'll get a few more years in him. And then you've got N'Golo Kante, 24 years old. Another centre midfielder. Really good physicals, bit more pace in midfield than the other players, and stamina and natural fitness. So box to box is definitely his role because he's got the energy to do that, and decent mentals and physicals. So you've got quite a few options at central midfield there. You definitely could sort of thin that out. I think you could, if you're playing two central midfielders, you could definitely look if that's an area where you wanted to cash in. So next one we'll go to the wingers. We've got Marc Albrighton, really good player, can play on both sides perfectly well. Right-footed, runs with ball, knocks ball past opponent and hugs line. So he's definitely, if you want the old-fashioned winger, he'd probably suit playing with some sort of target man if he hugs the line, because he's just going to be whipping those balls in rather than cutting inside. Can play as an attacking midfielder on the wings, but you need to sort of put a little bit of work in there. But decent all-round player, great crossing, natural fitness, he's going to run all day, and stamina there. Next up we have Mahrez. Now this guy in real life is brilliant, and he is brilliant in FM. Only 24. I didn't realise he was so young. Fucking hell. Might have to buy him in my save. Plays best as apparently as an inside forward on the right. And you can sort of see why. He's got finishing 14, first touch 14, composure 14. Dribbling and crossing are both fantastic. Passing is amazing. Yeah, he's a quality. Physicals are a little bit low, on the low side. Other balance and agility, he's going to beat people for fun with flair 18, balance, dribbling, all those skills being so high. Just not decent pace, low strength, and he's not quite as fit as some of the other players, but absolute quality. Probably first name on the team sheet along with Vardy. Next we've got Nathan Dyer. He's on loan from Swansea. He's just all about the pace. He's all about that pace. Yeah. He's a decent player other than that, but he is pacey, and he can play on the right wing and can fill in at left. Shinji Okazaki, 29 years old, 93 caps for Japan, so he's got massive bags of experience. He best plays up top. Well, let's see if we agree with that. Finishing 13, first touch 14, composure 12, off the ball 16. Yeah, he's a decent striker. He's a good target man as well. He's got... I'm not saying he's a good target man, he might be 4 foot tall, but he's got good heading, really good physicals, he's going to run all day. Yeah, I really like him. But 29 years old, he's obviously going to start to decline. Joseph Dudu, okay, 20 years old, young guy. Yeah, he's not that good, is he? Maybe send him out on loan or have him as like a fourth choice striker. I'll leave the man, the myth, the legend till the end. You've got Creme Riche, who plays best as a striker but can also play left wing. His crossing's maybe a little bit low for that. Decisions. Decent physicals. Dribbling's good. Flair's good. So another player that's going to beat people. First touch finishing is both good. Composure's 12. Off the ball's 14. Work rate's 14. Yeah, he's a really good player. And only 24, so he's got some room to improve. And you've got Leonardo Aloa. Okay, him. So he's your target man in your squad. So if you were to play... totally forgot his name. Albrighton. He'd be a good foil for him. 17 heading, high strength, natural fitness is good, finishing's good, first touch is poor. Could be an issue. Composure's okay. Yeah, decent all-round player. Off the ball's 14. Yeah, good target man to have in the squad. And then we have Jamie Vardy. He's 28 years old now, so he's at the peak, and he's really highly rated in real life, and he's shown it in Football Manager. I do apologise. My stupid phone keeps going off. Hold on. Go away, phone. So finishing 15, first touch is 12, it's okay. Composure's 13. He's more about just physically just beating people. He's got huge amounts of pace. He works really hard. He's going to run all day long. You want him running about, closing down the keeper, all that sort of stuff. He's a quality player. So as a whole, they've got a really good squad. I think definitely the right back position maybe needs some work. Maybe with the left back position as well. the two left backs aren't the most defensive left backs in the world. Might suit wing backs better. You've got plenty of central midfielders and attackers, so it's definitely quite an old defence, an average age. So that's probably somewhere worth strengthening. So definitely defence is the initial go-to place to improve. I hope you enjoyed the show. What the fuck? Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and comment. Tell me what you're going to do with the Leicester squad, or if you're managing them in the release of FM. And subscribe, because I'm going to be releasing a ton more Football Manager content, all sorts of plans and big things in my head ready to go once the launch goes live. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.